Insider Stephen Holder and columnist Greg Doyle discuss the Indianapolis Colts win. Where do they go now? Clark Wade /Indistar November 19, 2017, Arlington, TX, USA. Philadelphia Eagles defensive coordinator Jim Schwartz on the sidelines during the game against the Dallas Cowboys at AT&T Stadium. Mandatory credit, Matthew Emmons, USA Today Sports. Photo, Matthew Emmons, USA Today Sports. The Indianapolis Colts have fired coach Chuck Pagano. Here are 6 of the top names tied to NFL openings. Currently, defensive coordinator, Philadelphia Eagles. Quick take, he's rehabbed his reputation after a 29-51 stint in 5 seasons as the head coach in Detroit. The Eagles' defense has been quickly transformed by Schwartz, and now he's widely seen as one of this year's top candidates. The Colts might benefit from an intense and fiery coach like Schwartz after having the opposite personality in Pagano the past 6 years. Remember the time Schwartz chased down then -49ers coach Jim Harbaugh after a flippant post-game handshake and started a huge fracas? Well, his players loved it. November 27, 2016, Denver, Co., USA. Kansas City Chiefs kicker Cairo Santos, 5, and special teams coach Dave Toub celebrate the win over the Denver Broncos at Mile High. The Chiefs defeated the Broncos 30-27 in overtime. Mandatory credit, Ron Chioy, USA Today Sports. Photo, Ron Chioy, USA Today Sports. Currently, special teams coordinator, Kansas City Chiefs. Quick take, the Chiefs have had one of the finest special teams units in the NFL under Toub, who is in his 5th season on the job. But that's not primarily why he's listed here. The fact is Colts general manager Chris Ballard has shown time and again he will look back to his Kansas City roots, be it for players or organizational structure. Much of what he has done in Indianapolis has been patterned after Kansas City. The history between Ballard and Toub goes back to 2004, when both were in the Chicago Bears organization. Toub is no stranger to drawing interest for head coaching posts. Last year, he interviewed with the Los Angeles Chargers and Denver Broncos but was passed over. The idea of hiring a special teams coordinator to be a head coach is rare, but it worked wonderfully in the case of the Baltimore Ravens and John Harbaugh. December 15, 2016, Seattle, WA, USA. Seattle Seahawks cornerback Richard Sherman, 25, is restrained by defensive coordinator Chris Richard in the 3rd quarter against the Los Angeles Rams during a NFL football game at CenturyLink Field. Mandatory credit, Kirby Lee, USA Today Sports. Photo, Kirby Lee, USA Today Sports. Currently, defensive coordinator, Seattle Seahawks. Quick take, Pete Carroll has started a bit of a coaching tree in the Pacific Northwest. The previous 2 Seattle defensive coordinators have gone on to become head coaches in the NFL, Gus Bradley, Jacksonville, and Dan Quinn, Atlanta. Could Jenkins be next? This 38-year-old up-and-comer is an interesting candidate and could be a hot name this year. The Buffalo Bills interviewed him last year before hiring Sean McDermott. Vice President of Player Personnel Ed Dodds came from the Seattle organization and would be well positioned to provide Ballard important background on Richard.